fun, safe, and all that stuff that P.R.E. Track Days lives by, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's very important for us as racers and track day racers and people that want to use the track that it's a very safe environment for everyone to work in, and P.R.E. is an organisation that really supports that. You know, their track days aren't just about making money, they're about having fun on the track. It's about the whole experience. They go to a lot of effort before the track day, after the track day, setting up Airfence, pulling them down. They're not just something you put up and leave out. They do take work, and I think it's the right thing for the organisation, right thing for the people, because makes it a lot safer environment to ride in.
Well, they're getting ready to go here for a 12-lap race, and you know, you guys had your practice sessions on Friday in the wet. You had your qualifying yesterday in kind of, relatively dry, I would say, pretty dry conditions, but not like today. I mean, today is sunny. It's a Chamber of Commerce day here at Virginia International Raceway. But tell us a little bit about qualifying. Normally, you would put the fastest qualifier at the front of the field. You guys did it a little differently.
Yeah, I think that was because I crashed out.
They wanted to give everybody a chance, right?
No, not true. We wanted to put on a good exhibition here and show you the talent, the raw talent of the people on the grid. So we pulled the names from a ballot. So it was basically a potluck, and here they all are, all the boys and the girls out there ready to get going. I just heard the red flag was taken away, so we'll be underway shortly.
Yep, it'll be 12 laps to go. The lights will come on, the lights will go off. They get the same starting procedure as all of our pro racers. And with some of the faster guys a little bit deep in the field, certainly including John, who was up with us here before, run down the roster a little bit and let us know who's out there, what they're on, and what number they're carrying.
Yeah, absolutely. So from pole position was Mike Cuno on the R1M. He's bike number 413, followed by Andrew Gould, 230. He's on a GSX 750. And then Bill Bosley, he completed the front row on bike number 811.
Keep running them down. We got the whole grid, and they got a whole lap to go before they come back. We'll start calling some action here.
John Chalk was on the GSX 750. Andy Crosman was on the GSX 600. And Jason Bowler was on the ZX6R. That completed our second row. On the third row of the grid, we had Scott Beale on the BMW 1000RR. Kevin Sidendorf on the GSX 636, bike 951. Paulo Gigliani on the R6, bike number 320. On row 4, it's Joey Mooney, bike number 50, who's on a 2015 R1. Tom Kinley on bike 155 on the blue R1, 2015 R1. Jay Ingle on a ZX 750, bike number 48. Row number 5 is Derek Morgan, bike number 19. Adam Elkins, 92, Suzuki 750. Nick Munson, bike 111, R6. Then on to row 6, Jeff Philp, the bike number 77, he's on the R1. Joe Basom, the Ducati 848, beautiful bike, sounds great coming down the front straight here, bike number 51. David Brown is certainly one of the riders that's very deep in the pack. Watch him coming out. He will be GSX 750, bike number 11. It looks like he may be towards the pointy end of the field already. Row number 7 was Joe Albanese, a 666. John Dunham's another one, fast guy to watch out for. He's on bike 816, Yamaha R1. Ayman Singh, 156, GSX-R 750.
There you go.
Row 8, Jared Middleton, bike number 96, Alan Nitter, GSX 750, and John Thornton on the R6. Row 9 was Matt Spank, GSX 750, Carl Matthews, bike number 33, and then John Allen, bike 913, GSX 750. Nicole Dortoro, R6, bike 337, she's a female in the field, keep an eye out for her, she's very quick. Randall Fish, CBR 600, bike number 42. Louis, he's on an R6, bike number 24. And then father and son combination, Harrison Tyner, bike number 95, GSX 750. And his son, Chris Tyner, bike number 97, CBR 600. Interesting fact here, that Harrison is actually our oldest competitor here, over 60 years of age. So there's a few guys over 60 in the paddock, out on track today. So we encourage all people from all ages to participate, not just young kids.
So drawing names out of a hat to set the grid puts a lot of fast guys at the back, but again, they've all had the experience of riding together this weekend. And of course, you know, safe, fast, friendly, and fun, all of those those things apply when they're out there, and that's the mantra of P.R.E. Performance Riding Experience Track Days. Here they come by for the second lap. Recognize anybody?
Oh, yeah, they're moving pretty quick past this front window. I think we see
you pointed out a couple of fast ones.
Yeah.
They all look fast to me.
Yeah, David Brown was moving pretty quick down the front there. I didn't pick up the last number there, and I think there goes Alan. He's made up a few spots there.
Boy, there goes that Ducati you talked about. It sounds good coming down the straightaway here. 2 laps down, 10 laps to go for the group, and all we have to go by here is looking out the window. We're much in the same position that you are. We're watching the race from somewhere on the track. We don't have pictures from VIR. They're taking their break here before they get back into action. We don't have transponders on the bike for timing and scoring. We're just winging it up here, old school style with Nathan Tremblay.
Yeah, so I just noticed that Nicole was actually doing a really good job. She's moved forward in the pack quite a bit. She's holding off a couple of the other guys there, so I hope she can keep that on as she turns around into turn 1. She's very strong through that part of the track. She's been strong all weekend, and hopefully she'll be able to hold them off, and we'll see what happens when she comes around next time.
Yeah, visual identification is all we've got to go by, so let's be paying attention out the window. They should be coming around pretty shortly here, and we'll be able to at least recognize perhaps who's running up front and who's doing what to whom out there. As they come off the final corner here very shortly, we're seeing folks are kind of looking down that direction, and we should be hearing them. Here they come. Here come our 2 leaders at this point, side by side.
Yeah, so that's David Brown out in front. He's made up about 28 grid positions so far, so he's doing well. I think he's playing with the boys and just making sure he doesn't embarrass some of the other ones at the front, and probably holding back just a little bit there, but certainly that was expected from David Brown.
So smart money would have been on David for the win in this one, but he's playing it a little cagey out there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's exactly right. We'll see. You know, it's a 12-lap race. These guys don't do this for. This is not their living. They work on their fitness outside work hours. So there goes Pastors right now. Scott Sandquist. He's very easy to pick up with the blue air vest that he's wearing there. Scott's moved from. He was actually started from the back of the grid. He's moved up 4 positions so far. So 5 positions now. So it's some good work by Scott.
They're still screaming across the start-finish line and having a good time out there. That's what it's all about. Track Days has been here all weekend. They run Track Days. We talked to John up here a while ago, and they run Track Days primarily, or this is their home track, I guess they call it. And again, what we're all about, and what P.R.E. is all about, is they have raised over $110,000. Actually, John said it might be up to $111,000 plus, because they had well over $1,000 in donations here this weekend, and you can still make a donation to the Road Racing World Action Fund, which provides the Airfence for all the Moto America professional events, but P.R.E. also deploys Airfence here at Virginia International Raceway for their track days and making the track itself safer in every way. There goes David again.
Yeah, so David's not really pulling much of a lead, so that's good to see. I think some of the boys are right up there behind him. I noticed Nicole last time round had actually put a bit of a gap on the 2 behind her, so doing very well there to hold them off.
The Road Racing World Action Fund has over the years, I wish I had the number in front of me, along with the many great accomplishments that John Ulrich, Chris Ulrich, the Team Hammer organization, the longest continuous operating full-time team in motorsports, 37 years, I want to say, is the right number on that. But some years ago, I'm not sure exactly how many of their mining corrections in this they took up the mantle, took up the job of making sure that Airfence safety barriers, which began to be available about that time, 15 years ago or so, and they took it upon themselves to raise money to purchase sections of Airfence that can be traveled around with Moto America and deployed at all the racetracks in some of the impact zones. And I know all of us are grateful for Road Racing World Action Fund and for the deployment of those Airfence barriers. So, if you get it a little wrong, at least you have the comfort of knowing that a real pillow is waiting for you instead of a wall.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, a lot of these people you see out on track, some of them are the control riders from the P.R.E. organization, but a lot of them have actually come up and through the ranks within the P.R.E. organization and started off in the intermediate class and through the coaching, started off in the novice class and through coaching and the mentoring of those control riders in the organisation, they've become the riders they are. Some of them have now decided they no longer like to ride on the street. They purely like riding on the track, where they can use bikes to the fullest extent, and you're seeing some of that effort to their results and their performance on the track today. And, for amateur club riders, the pace out there is pretty high.
Yeah, indeed it is. And a lot of track riders, a lot of racers, I should say, don't even have a street license.
Yeah, that's great.
I want to say somebody just recently, I think it was Josh Aaron, just recently got his street rider license, which he had never held, and he's been a professional racer for a decade or more.
Yeah, well, that's the good thing about doing track days. You don't need a racing license to do it, and if you like what you see in front of you and you're excited by the racetrack and going at high speeds, and feel a little intimidated to do it, reach out to the P.R.E tent. Those guys can talk you to it. The process is actually very simple. Most street bikes are able to be going on the track in both the beginner and the intermediate classes with very minimal work. If you don't have the gear, like the gloves, the helmet, the leathers, they can hook you up with all of that. So really, we can really break down the barriers of entry. And if you've ever thought about it, I really encourage you to do it. I spent a lot of my time riding on the street and on dirt. What's MotoGP? A lot of them, my goodness, they're crazy. I'll never be able to do that. And, through the P.R.E organisation and the coaching, it's really been a great opportunity for me to improve my skills out on the track as well.
Right, well, it's okay. Next time, we'll make sure that you're not up here in the booth with me next time, that you're out there on the track. We'll have to get somebody to replace you. Maybe you can begin grooming a replacement commentator while you get yourself back out there on the track. To the subject of what you need to do to your street bike, I seem to recall the first time I did a track day on my VIR MA street bike that I was I had to tape up the headlights, but I also removed the headlight fuse so that the tape didn't get turned into we had to zip tie the kickstand, and aside from that, that was pretty much all I had to do with my motorcycle prepared for a track day. What does P.R.E recommend?
Yeah, and there's a couple other things as well. Make sure all the glass is taped up, not just all the plastics and lights are taped up, not just the front one, the back one, of course, as well. But also the mirrors, you can tape them up, and to be honest, it's a very easy job to remove them. It's not very difficult. There's people at the track, there's trackside services that can help you with the track. If you're not familiar with how to remove them, they can certainly help you. If that's not an option as well, you're able to tape them up.
Yep, well, there you go. So minimal preparation in order to participate in a P.R.E track day, and of course you get the feel good of helping with the Road Racing World Action Fund and the deployment of Airfence barriers around the track, but not only for your track day, but for the racers that we enjoy watching when we have a Moto America event or club racing event at a track near you. Well, we're certainly past the halfway mark, and out on the flag stand, I believe we're seeing a 5. I believe that's 5 laps remaining of the race, and shortly Pat Tarzoni, our starter, will signal what the riders all recognize, the white flag waving for 1 lap to go. But David Brown looks like he's kind of done the business out there, and while early on he had a little bit of competition, it seems as though he stretched his lead a bit as we speak.
Yeah, he did, and I also noticed that time around Scott Sankos has actually got a through John Evans, who's going to make for some interesting conversation back in the pits this afternoon.
Tell us a little bit about those two guys. We know that John is one of the principal.
Yeah, he is, and he's actually quick on laps, so to get past him, I think is a big achievement. So I hope Scott's got past him, and John hasn't done a whole lap and gone back up to him. I don't think that's the case, but John's certainly very fast out there, and he's well respected within the organisation for his speed. So he's a very fast person.
Well, along with making a donation to the Road Racing World Action Fund to P.R.E, for which you get a free T-shirt over at the tent, as Nathan has said, you can talk to them about how you want to get involved, how you can get involved. If you're a street rider and you want to learn how to be a safer street rider, I know in my personal experience, I thought I was a pretty capable street rider, having done that all my life. And when I started doing track days about 15 or 20 years ago, and did so pretty religiously for probably a decade or more. Since then, I've had other interests that have taken up my time, but I know that it made me a better street rider, because when you go out onto the racetrack and you learn to do what, you learn to ride nearer to the limits without the distractions of traffic and everything else. You learn what you and the motorcycle can do, and then when you are on the street with all of the distractions and things that can work against you, you feel more comfortable riding faster but safer at the same time.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct because, whether, sometimes when you're out on the street and you're in a car wrong and the time's up more than it should, the skills you learn from the track, can really make a difference between running over the line and holding the line. Learning how to do that in a safe and controlled environment around expert instructors that, look at you, they help you work on different aspects. It's not overwhelming, and, they'll start working on, point on a time and work with you in riding position and work on refining that, making sure your toes and hips, knees and shoulders and chest and head are all doing the right things. And then once you get the technique right, you can start focusing then on the speed, and the speed naturally comes once the technique's really
There we go. All right. So, and one of the things also that if something unexpected happens when you're out on your street ride, let's say you come around a corner and the guy is just cutting grass and putting all the clippings out onto the road, that's going to be a situation that if you're not prepared for, you may not be able to deal with. But if you're on the track and you know that you can straighten up just a little bit, you know how much brake pressure you can apply, you know what you need to do in a situation like that, it, as you said, may be the difference between coming home safely and needing some help.
Yeah, one of the things that's really taught me about riding on the track is about target fixation. And I think when you're on the road, you do a lot of target fixation. And when you're on the racetrack, it's a skill you learn to really focus on, to work on. Probably focus on the right word, but to really work on. Because if someone does something in front of you and unfortunately maybe they run off, you don't want to target fixate on them, because what generally will then happen is you'll end up running after them. And it's the same on a road. On the road, you see the road, you see the car, you look at it, you're most likely to run over it. And some of the skills you learn here from the track day is about, how do you stop target fixating, keep looking through the corner and things like that. So a lot of very transferable skills.
Look where you should go rather than where you shouldn't. I think that's one way it's been characterized. Look where you want to go, not where you don't. And as you say, if you see something, a pothole in the road, it happens all the time. You're driving down the road and you see something in the middle of the road, and instead of avoiding it instinctively, you hit it instinctively for some reason. So this teaches you to do all of that. And down to 3 laps to go, I believe, if I see the number correctly, out on the flag, two laps to go out on the flag stand for our P.R.E. Airfence Saves Lives exhibition race to benefit the road racing world action fund that deploys these air and field safety barriers around the track in impact zones and to keep the riders safe. They wear a lot of protective, we wear a lot of protective equipment on our bodies, including even the external air vests that we see on some of the riders out here. We saw on some of the finishers in our KTMRC Cup and that protective gear alone may not be enough, but having those Airfence barriers, those soft barriers deployed around the racetrack, that's the final line of defense against injury.
Yeah, you're right, and cars came out with airbags some time ago, and then I think a lot of people realize the value that has, and now it's considered standard equipment. And now, I feel that the air fences are exactly the same for the track. It's an absolute necessity to the organisation and to the people that ride there. And to me, if they're there, they should be used, and if they're not there and they're available, then questions should be asked, right? So I feel that it's a step forward with safety, and I think there should be no excuses if they're not used at all.
Well, certainly making them available is a step in the right direction, and as you say, using them as well. P.R.E. with their participation in this event as a support class, their hope is to bring more attention to the importance of having these soft barriers in place to protect riders and to encourage everyone to view them as being necessary, as you said, and required as a track day race event. And we applaud the efforts of P.R.E. Performance Riding Experience Track Days and their demonstration event. The white flag is, in fact, out at the start-finish line and waving in the hands of our starter or one of his assistants. And so 1 lap to go for the competitors who are out there right now. We are pretty certain that David was able to stretch his lead and really, in fact, earn the victory, but without being able to really keep track of all the time parking. The order of finish is not so important as the experience of having enjoyed the 12-lap race here along with the crews at a Moto America event at Virginia International Raceway. How about that, huh? Great stuff.
So if anyone's interested, obviously the website's www.ridepre.com. Look up more details and get in contact with anyone if you want to ask more questions. If you don't get the opportunity to do that today, it's a great organisation, and it's one that I've been a part of, and I've moved a few places in the country, and I'm currently now up in Boston, but I still drive down to this region to ride with the organisation. It's just a fun organisation to ride with.
Worth the trip.
Absolutely. I'm not sure the trip home is going to be as comfortable with all this on, but yeah, certainly worth it. Being around friends, and after getting injured on the Friday here, I didn't want to pack up and go home. There we go. David Brown just crossed the line on the checkered flag.
Yeah,
it's probably going to be a bit difficult to work out who is second, because we do he's come through some lap traffic there. So
as you recognize some of the riders who come by, of course, be sure to point them out. But clearly, David, who was one of the favorites to begin with, has earned his position as the winner of this one, apparently. And again, go visit the P.R.E tent over in our member village area. Make a donation to the Road Racing World Action Fund, to P.R.E specifically, who will pass it along. And for that, you'll get a free P.R.E Track Day t-shirt. And while you're there, you can get some more information about how, as a rider, as an enthusiast, you can join their organization and make yourself a better rider and keep the world a safer place to live in.
Looks like now we just got the last few people coming through, and I think we're just about clear.
Well, Nathan Trombleth, we appreciate your participation up here. Thanks for joining me again. Safe travels, heal quickly, and we hope to see you soon at another P.R.E Track Day event, perhaps back here at VIR.
Yeah, absolutely. We got the VIR South weekend fundraiser coming up. I think it's in about 6 weeks' time from now, and really hoping to be back and fit for that. If not, I'll certainly be coming down to support it. I did last time. I brought some friends down with me from Chicago to help support it as well. So it's a great event. Come and be part of it, or if you've got things you can donate that we can raffle off to help raise money for it, that would be certainly appreciated. Just get in touch with the P.R.E booth, and we can point you to the right people to talk to.
Well, thanks again for being here. Thanks to Performance Riding Experience Track Day, Airfence Saves Lives exhibition. We appreciate their participation as a support class here as we enjoy a wonderful day of competition, a wonderful day of activities. Coming up next is going to be our Dunlop Hot Pit Fan Walk, along with the Dunlop M4 two-seater rides out on the racetrack, and lots of more going on. Our opening ceremonies coming up in about an hour, and then an afternoon of competition beginning at 2:25 p.m. with our Super Sport Superstock 600 race, and the final event of the day, our Motul Superbike and Bazaz Superstock 1000 race 2 this afternoon. So with that, we'll take a little pause in the action for the time being. Congratulations to all the finishers in our P.R.E Track Days. Airfence Saves Lives. Thanks for the donations you've already made. Thanks in advance for those that you're going to make by going over to the P.R.E tent and offering up a $20 donation or more. I think is very key there. And we'll be happy to give you in return a free t-shirt as a way of saying thanks. So enjoy your day. Enjoy what VIR and the Moto America Championship of Virginia has to offer. Dunlop Hot Pit Fan Walk coming up next.